The new HDB Flat Portal lets buyers deal directly with sellers now. To discuss its impact, we have Lim from OrangeTee Tie AAG Division and Lisa Teck from Huttons Asia. Mark and Lee, how do you think will the HDB Flat Portal affect the need for real estate agents?
I think this new portal should have minimal impact on agents. Firstly, is because if the agents are already doing the transactions on their own, so this portal is just something that comes in handy for them. But most of the cases out there involving a HDB flats are actually more complex and complicated as well. So maybe there will be like extension of time. Sometimes you have contra, and there are different timelines as well as negotiation to manage on the agent as well as on the buyer or the seller side. So this will still be necessary whether there is this flat listing portal or not.
Well, I think to some extent, agents' role will definitely be affected because this portal primarily encourages DIY among the sellers and the buyers, because every seller who has the genuine intention to sell would have registered the intent to sell with the HDB. And with that, HDB will invite them onto the portal to advertise the property. And buyers with the valid HFE, the home HDB flat eligibility letter, will have access to the contacts of the sellers. So with this kind of a direct access between sellers and buyers, a DIY is likely very, very possible. So and also it's usually during this house hunting process, there's the most tedious part of the resales process. So with a possibility of matching the seller and the buyer, it literally takes away the job of an agent quite drastically. So for that matter, I would think that to some extent, agents' role in the resale, especially for this RFL DIY, will be affected.
Will it change what agents actually do in these deals?
The new HDB resale flat portal doesn't change the way agents conduct their business, because their role as a consultant, whether to buyer or to sellers, is still unchanged. There's still the need to help negotiate, help to manage the expectations, as well as manage all the different timelines, as well as how the finances and how they can transit out of their existing house into another house, or for buyers to transit in, as well as help them to sell their existing property. And all these roles are still unchanged.
So I do agree that the procedure is the entire resale procedure is relatively unchanged, but it is the initial part of sourcing properties, marketing of properties, looking for buyers to match sellers' requirement. I mean, to have the buyers come in to match the sellers' property. That is the part that, in my opinion, an agent's role will be reduced to some extent.
Now let's talk about the pros and cons. Are there any new opportunities and challenges for agents with this portal coming into play?
I think for the agents itself, this portal is a new avenue for them to actually expose their customer flat to actually say more buyers out there itself. So in a way, it is actually good for the salesperson. And the other thing is that HDB policies, for example, we have your ethnic integration policy. The quota itself, it is updated monthly on the HDB portal. So as a salesperson, I do not need to update the information on other property portals. I don't need to update the info if it changes every month. And of course, other things is that the buyer who actually come, it means that they already have their housing flat eligibility already approved, and they are in a way, I would say, more ready to buy. So you will be dealing with more ready buyers in that aspect itself. So that's actually good for both the sellers as well as for the salesperson.
Well, there are definitely opportunities as much as there are challenges. Among the challenges, the most immediate one most agents will face will be the shift of sellers towards DIY. Market information will be more readily available to sellers, and it could even be more comprehensive than what agents can offer. Therefore, agents need to uplift our role as a professional advisor, cum service provider. We need to act in good faith of our clients' interests and ensure their selling objectives are met. In addition, Agents need to upgrade ourselves constantly too in order to stay relevant so as to render the right advice and assistance to our clients. With the right attitude and a wealth of knowledge, we agents will come across as competent and efficient professionals when our clients will be more willing to rely on us through their property journey. When this is achieved and clients appoint us as their agent, we will then have access to the RFL as the managing agent representing them in the selling process.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights, Mark and Lee.
Thank you for having me on air today.
Thank you very much for having me as well.
Once again, those were Mark Lim, Division Associate Director of OrangeTee Tie AAG Division, and Lisa Teck, Senior Director of Data Analytics at Huttons Asia. For more news, visit sbr.com.sg.